Hi, my name is Mediatrix. On today's movie review, we'll be looking at Sins of Omission. We'll check if it's good as a movie, I guess, but then we'll also check the messaging behind this movie and the implications or whatever impact we think this movie made in its time. I think it was 2007 or thereabout, or probably earlier than that. But we'll think about what this movie meant for its time and the kind of influence it might have had and the kind of message it would have passed back in its day. So I will send you over to that Mediatrix from like 2 months ago. I would probably look different, hopefully better. It started with like an attention grabber because in the very first scene, the woman met a beggar on the road and she helped the beggar. The beggar gave her like a very, very serious prophecy, and after that prophecy, the beggar vanished. So we're like, ugh. The vibe of the movie is very calming in the beginning. This woman, she saw a beggar on the road, a blind woman on the road, and she took her to her house to feed her and give her food, because the blind woman was telling her that there was nobody to feed her basically. So she took the blind woman to her house and then she gave her food, and the blind woman said, okay, please bring me water. As she brought the blind woman water, this woman had her handle. I was not telling her that she will go through suffering and pain. Her husband has blah 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 blah, like somebody just finished giving you food and you are fucking laying curses laying curses on the person. It's not even funny. I was telling the woman that she will get married into a very rich family, she will have children, but she will not have a male child.
Be married into a rich and powerful family. You will have children for your husband, but none of them will be a boy.
Now hold on to this thing, because this is the point of the whole movie. Male child. So she will not have a male child for her husband, and that she's going to go through a lot of trials and tribulations, that her friend is going to betray her, and that only prayer can save she and her husband. And at that point I was thinking, why would the husband need saving? Because from what the woman was saying, it felt like the husband was going to be a participant in her suffering, but then she's trying to say God will save you and your husband, and I'm like, you're already holding court for the husband, but let me not like get ahead of myself, let me not get too fast. So anyways, she sends the lady out and the lady poof disappears, and I think that's very traumatic. But right into the next scene, we see Chinwe Owo sweeping a compound. So she's sweeping this beautiful compound. Oh, nice music is playing. Who is the guy that did this music something anyway? Oh yeah, Chimere Emejobi. I don't know who he is. I don't know where he will be now. Who knows if he's even still. Music was really, really on point at every point in time. So it started with music. They entered this very fine house that I wish like if I was a child watching this movie, I would have been like, ooh, I want to live in this house, because that house was giving opulence, baby. That house showed that those people like had money, they had all their frame, then just that house. It turns out that Edochie and his wife, they just came back to the village with their daughters. So apparently Edochie's wife is the woman that received that prophecy when she was younger. They begin to interact, and then we find out that Chinwe Owo is Edochie's wife's friend. But then Edochie asks her like, why is the whole place dusty? And she tells Edochie, well, that they didn't leave her the keys. That's why everywhere is dusty. Next time they should drop their keys. And I'm like, wait, you would never she was not even with the keys in the first place, and you're questioning her about your house. That means there's no agreement here. But like, let's leave that. And then turns out that there was no water for them to take their bath. People that just came back from the Obodo Ibo. Chinwowo offered to help them fetch water, and her friend was like, oh yeah, thank you very much. Oh, she's so nice. She was not telling her children that, oh yeah, this is my friend, her husband died and then she had to come back from the city, and now she's suffering, and now she's a poverty stricken. Well, she didn't say it like that, but that's what she was giving, because she did not stand up to go and help her friend to fetch water. She just sat down like her friend went to like fetch the water for her. In the very next scene, Pete has this mindless conversation with his daughters about washing his car. He asks them to wash the car, and they say no, that car washing is for boys and girls are not supposed to be washing cars. And he's like, you people should wash these cars. Like, who are we going to get to wash these cars? And they're having that mindless conversation, but that is actually a build up to, remember the plot of this story, a male child, because those girls really told their dad like, girls don't wash cars, which is a lie. I watched my dad's car a lot. So Nollywood, I don't know if you were misrepresenting or if you were just dramatizing, but those girls really told their dad that they cannot wash car. But it was like, just a normal casual conversation, and they left it at that. But then right in the next scene, the Omona, arrive. The Umona come and Pete Edochie's wife greets them and they don't reply her, which is very like Umona sometimes, but she's like okay. And then they go into the room and they're having this conversation with Pete Edochie, and they tell Pete Edochie, you know, you are the best man in our clan, we love you, we cherish you, you have made so much money and that money is coming down to us. And let me tell you something, Omona, true audacity, they have audacity. They were telling this man how important his life is to them and how he needs to have a male child to further their own lineage. And here I also still see some good acting from Pete Edochie's wife, because she just badges in. And he's like, oh, and that feels like something my mother would do, because she just came in and like, oh, you evil motherfucker. People are trying to spoil my home. Anybody that tries to spoil my home, go to spoil your own. And that was the first time they had that conversation. But Pete Edochie stood by his wife. He said no, that he's not going to marry a second wife. He says that girls are actually very important. You know, you're not supposed to do that. So Pete sends all the elders out of his house and gives them 10 warnings never to come back to his house, telling him that kind of rubbish. But then in the very next scene, we see Muna Obiekwe of the blessed memory. He's from my village. He was from my village. May he so rest in peace. So he is raising up this girl. We don't know her, but he's basically saying that he's finna come marry her and shit.
The very first day I saw you, I knew you were going to be my wife.
And just like that, Sister Joma from Sister Mary, which is a movie we're going to talk about on this channel, definitely. Sister Jama, which is Rita and Zelu, she's Julie in this movie. So Julie comes in, like we've never met her before. We're just seeing her for the first time, but she just comes in and is like, who's this old cargo? She was like, you're cheating on me and shit. And from there, they started fighting. Like the way she was fighting the fight, she was so invested in the fight. She was so dedicated. She even thought his clothes on camera. It was so serious. And for what? Because of love. So in the very next scene, Muna goes to her house to report her, and who he goes to report her to is Chinwowo. Turns out she's Chinwowo's younger sister. Muna is like, I'm going to call the police. I'm going to take this up with the police. And Chinwowo is like, please, don't do that. And she starts to caution her sister. So this was just used to introduce how Julie is a woman that does not have a man and does not have the hopes of getting a good man. And her elder sister, we'll see that there is also a desperation in her to marry her sister off. Ojuku, which is Pete Edochie's other brother, comes to his house and tells him the same thing: marry a second wife. And there is very great acting in these places. This old man, I don't know his name and I cannot remember. I don't think he's alive anymore. May he so rest in peace too. But he delivered very well in this movie. And I was wondering what was going to be the lesson of this movie. Was Pete Edochie going to actually realize that this hassle, all this hostility is unnecessary? Will you learn that these his kingsmen are actually wrong? Which will be a beautiful conclusion. Like, if the way the movie had been done, he just got to a point where he was validated that girl children are girl children, that will actually be a great conclusion. Is that where we're going? Or there's also another solution actually. Like, would Pete Edochie fall off? Will he like succumb to the pressure and later be crushed by the hammers of karma? That will also be acceptable. But then, do you know what for Anayo? Because I have seen that man's brain, and I think he was thinking, what about a third option? You get me? Like, you know, how about we subvert it? We add this third option, this third possibility, and it's in this, I think, the second act that we begin to realize it. Because in the very next scene, Pete Edochie goes to, I think he's taking a walk in the village, and he sees one compound like that, and he asks the people, this compound looks crazy. How, where is this man? Has he not finished building his house still now? People around told him that, oh, that man died, and they were like, oh, so none of his brothers or his sons could help him like complete this house. And those people were like, oh, that's actually, the man did not have any male child though. We now saw Pete Edochie thinking about how terrible that situation is, which is a thing we'll come to later in the conclusion. Pete's wife visits Chinwowo and some behavior happens. Nothing too serious, but it is enough to give us motivation, even justification. In this conversation, Pete's wife is willing to help Chinwowo like upgrade. She's telling her, oh, my friend, I love you so much, I don't want you to be in this village. You can come and be my husband's caretaker in Onitsha and be taking care of his compound there. Chinwowo now agrees to that. But then as they're about to leave, Pete Edochie's daughter, one of them, asks Chinwowo, auntie, how have you been on wearing these
Ever
rags
since we came
that
back,
she's
you've
been
been putting on
wearing.
the same old
And
top.
that tells you that that woman did not raise her daughters well. He has another conversation with his brother Ojoko, and he begins to dream dreams. In the dreams, he's starting to see himself with a male son, with a male child. He's actually becoming very, very invested in the thought of having male kids. Like, he wakes up and he's screaming, sons, that type of thing. The song in the background is telling me though that the producers of this movie are not in support of these things that are happening. Because as another elder comes to talk to Peter Edochie, they are having this conversation, and the vibe the movie is giving you is these conversations are bad. Don't say that. Don't. He's trying to sell to you that Pete is a good man for not thinking less of his daughters. He stands by his family, but deep down you can actually see that the thing is affecting him. The very next scene, Pete has to travel to the village. So he's in Enugu now. I don't know where their village is. I watched the whole thing twice and I still don't know where their village is. But he's in Enugu now and he wants to go to the village. But then before he goes to the village, he first of all drives down to Onitsha. You get? So he wants to maybe go check out their building in Onitsha. And the person that is currently managing that building is Chinwe Owo. So Nkemowo is the caretaker at this. Chinwowo is the caretaker at this house that Pete is renting. This his house, and so he goes to Onitsha to just look at the house and everything. And as he goes to that Onitsha, right, she says that her sister, which is Julie, wants to travel to the village and begs Pete if Julie can follow him. That seemed really weird to me because, well, nobody wants to travel to the village and is waiting for somebody to pick them. They usually just leave early. But I guess if it's, I don't know where their village is, but maybe if the village is still within Anambra State, someone might just relax a bit on the Onitsha too. Chinwe Owo, who will be calling sister from here. So sister went into the room to call Julie to come and start going to the city, and that is when we actually understand that Julie was not in on whatever this conversation is. Julie was actually not going to go to the village. So Julie was telling sister, "What? Wait, I just came back from the village not long ago." But sister is telling her, "Shut up, your dirty Marty. I'm telling you that Chief is here. Odogu is around." And if you follow him to the village, that man is looking for a male child. If you play your cards right, you don't know what will be in it for you. And Julie, for some reason, decided to gamble with her life, and she said, okay. So she followed Chief to the village. And this is my favorite part of the movie because, ladies and gentlemen, there was seduction. In this part, Julie seduced Mr. Peter Edochie, and that man fine. I understand why he was saying some of the misogynistic things he was saying online, because that man is good looking, and fine men tend to open their mouth and bah. But he's actually really fine for an old man, and he told that girl, don't call me uncle.
Call me uncle.
I wanted to call him uncle too. I understand it. Even brought the food to his front and bent down and everything, trying to show that man all she had. And he asked her, okay, spend the night. And she said, where's your bathroom? And he said, the one in the guest room is broken. Use the one in my room. And they went in, and whatever they did is their business. But what now happened is that before Pete left for this village, he told his wife, honey, 4 days, I will be back. How many days did he ended up spending up to 2 weeks. He spent about 12 days. His wife was calling. Everybody was worried. His children were crying. They did not know that their father had been lost in Julie's miniskirt. They would still living like man and wife, but not for very long, just that 1 week. After that 1 week, Julie contacted Rapper, they escort and they come out. Julie was not asking him can I call you, can I do this, can I do that, but he was standoffish. No, that man a player. At your age, you're a player. And this is how men are. They never change. Please, let us stay on track. So this man now told this girl, no, that she should not be calling him now, that there's no need for that. So as he was driving out, that is actually when Chinwowo's character begins to develop more and more. That his sister's character begins to develop more and more. You begin to see how evil and how sinister and how peppery body to do evil her body the peppery. And because as Peter Edochie they drive come out, you see her head is shook inside frame. She won't know who they come out from the gate. As Peter Edochie they come out finish, she just run go back for the gate and was telling her sister, how did he go? When did he leave? You need to hurry. You need to give him a child. You need to, oh god, she was so desperate. Oh fuck, I don't even know why. If she had a womb, she would have been doing. oh, like I didn't mean it to, like if she had not hit menopause, she would have done this work by herself because she was so pressed. Anyway, Julie was really like, I don't really care about doing all that. I can be doing what I'm doing with him and be collecting money. But she was like, you're always looking at the small picture, look at the bigger picture. And then at a certain point, I think Julie starts to buy what auntie or sister was selling. The chief comes back and his wife is like, you had me so worried, I almost died, man. She was so sad. She was really legit sad. And chief, his bad boy bullshit, was like, I went to the road. In fact, he was blabbing. He could not even defend himself. Say the road was closed, the leg was broken, and every kind of nonsense excuses he gave. She was actually very concerned, but he was able to, I think, convince her. And then in the very next scene, Julie visits Pete Edochie's house, and the first people she meets is Pete Edochie's wife and his children. And this part of the story combines good directing, believable script writing, and commendable acting, because this very scene was really, really beautiful to see. There was beautiful continuity from just really minor things that you would think that Nigerian filmmakers will not care about, like reflections in the mirror, and trying to match that reflection to fit what you're seeing. Is what, like, they shot it from a couple people's points of view, and it was actually very beautiful to see. And then Julie comes in and is chilling with Pete Edochie's wife and kids, and Pete Edochie walks in and he's surprised to see her. But then he told his wife to go get him his walking stick, and as she goes to get it, Julie just rushes to him like the evil priestess that she is, and is like, I just came here to take that I'm pregnant. And he shouts, hey, whoa, but Jesus, man. Like, he just shouts. And as he shouts, his wife rushes in and is like, what is it? He now said, one man that was owing him for 2 years, that this girl just told him that he just packed out. And his wife believed him. He was even backing him like, oh, my husband will show those people, my husband will show those niggas. She ain't know that man itchy in home. Anyway, in the very next scene, they show that Julie done the born. Like, she was in the labor room giving birth, and we see sister outside firing Pireya. Sister was praying so hard. Like, she was not really praying for a male child, but we all know what was inside sister's heart, because it was a hospital distance and sister could not say her real mind, but sister was really praying. And then the doctor came out and told her it was a bouncing baby boy. Sister's joy, bounce. Sister was over the fucking moon. It'd be like she hit jackpot. Like, if it's luck, you cannot replicate it. But sister was very, very happy. And so was Pete Edochie. Actually, he traveled down to Onitsha to see his family, and his wife was telling him, like, you have been going to Onitsha, you have gone 7 times in 2 months. Now you've already been now you are going again 7 times in 2 months. But Pete, at this point, Pete is gone. Pete said, no, it's business. I'm going to this person, I'm going to this person. Pete now went and he threw away his walking stick. He was like, finally I have a male child. Now remember that he was saying, like, it not really mean, it not really matter, but he was so grateful. He was thanking her. He was like, oh, I thank you. And it's at this point that you know that she has Chief in her grip hold. She has him. So Chief went out to, like, buy Julie baby things, and that is where MTN International they call Chief. I say pipirin. So you born. But time about people, they get very, very creative. She's like, so you born, you don't tell me, but I see your husband, then nigga bam baby things. And she said, who my man? You ain't seen my man shit. But actually that was her man, because her man was buying that stuff. And then when her man came back, she was asking him, like, where did you go to? He could not explain. She was saying, somebody saw you buying baby things. He said it's a lie. He could not explain. She was asking him, did those elders come to the house and, like, make you, like, say anything about this man not having a male child again? He was like, but I've been assuring you, I've been telling you that is not a problem for me. Girl, why don't you believe me? He was actually trying to emotionally blackmail her. Then, do you know what now happened? One of his children now came inside and broke a flask, and he lost all his fucking temper. He's like, do you know how much that thing is? His wife is like, it's 2,000. He says, it's a lie. The one I bought the other day na 5,500. Now buy him, and I take the woman cash and say, yeah, so you've been lying to me. Anyway, I don't know how he got out of that situation, but he got out of that situation. and just continue to like live his life with his double life. But sister was not content. The money was coming, but it was not coming too much. Sister now advised Julie to threaten Pete Edochie that she is going to unalive her own child if that man does not tell his homo boy to be letting her collect any amount of money she wants from the shop anytime. And Pete Edochie, when he's like threatened with this threat, he takes it better than I expect, because if you tell me that you're going to kick my child because I'm not giving you money, no, you will not have custody of that child again. But I guess because Chief is in like a delicate situation, they're able to twist his peanuts very quickly, and he gave in to their request, and she was allowed to collect all the money she wanted from the Umo boy. Back at home, Chief and his wife, things are not really going really well with them. His wife now goes to her friend, which is Chinwo, which is sister, to ask her, did you hear about any kind of traditional marriage thing happening, because I suspect my husband has gone to the village and he has taken a second wife. And sister is like, girl, stop it, don't you trust your man, don't you know your man? Those people came, but your man chased them away. If those people come, your friend, I will chase them away. But yourself, why don't you want to give your husband a male child? And the friend was like, excuse me, are you mocking me or what? And she said, no, there is this man of God I can take you to. After 2 weeks you will conceive. And Pete's wife trusts her friend. At this point we don't know it yet, but all this is manipulation, because Chinwo, after telling her let us go to see this great man of God, now goes and calls Pete, like say, come see where your wife took your picture. I think it was a setup. Pete now went and caught her there with the prophet and everybody, all the elders, all those elders that were saying that she had used juju to keep their brother before. All of them now say, yes, we talk it, we said it. And this man was kneeling down, and everybody said no, that she has to leave the house. Pete at that point had forsaken her. So really dramatic music playing in the background. Pete throws his wife out, throws her away, and she goes back to us suffering. I think she went into like a 1-bedroom or something. She was really struggling without that man. That is what I mean. I'll start talking about Odogus and Chiefs this period. Please let us talk about something else. So Chief's wife remembers her property that was still in Onitsha, and she goes to her friend Chinwo to like get some comfort, talk to her about her property. But Chinwo was not having any of it. Like at this point, sister had had enough of kissing her behind. Sister is like, girl, get into your medulla oblongata. I'm done with you. You can go to hell. Our levels have changed. Can't you see me now? But what was actually odd about this scene is that Chinwo was actually looking more ugly than she was when she did not have any money. Like the whole fucking wig and everything. She looked better. Like you can compare the two and see that she did look better when she didn't have any money. So I don't know if that was a choice the movie made, because like the costume they gave her, she looked diabolical. She looked really ugly. Chief gives his boys instructions and say, give this woman any amount of money she wants whenever she comes here. And his boys are so stupid, because they begin to give her all the money that she's going to take it to the bank for them, and she siphons the money to the tune of 5 million naira, and Chief loses his cool. Chief barges into the house. Chief is upset, and Chief slaps her. Chief is even domestically abusive. Isn't that great? Chief slaps her, and she actually grabs the baby and threatens to still, like, please stop. Oh my god, just stop it. Like, it's not even nice, it's not even funny, she's not even crazy. Nobody is supposed to be behaving like that. I just hope nobody behaves like that, because just carrying a child, and even if it's for joke or for play, such an environment you should not be found in, threatening to your own baby. Please don't do it, sis. Chinwo convinces Chief to sell everything he has and move down to Onitsha to be with his son, because this son thing, it don't begin the rain, so go be with his son. And Chief does that, but after Chief does that, they take all of Chief's papers, all of Chief's properties, everything Chief has, like just proof to all his things, and they set him up to be assassinated. So those people that they sent to Chief, those people went there and then they Chief, but they not really and finish. So that is how those people were now trying to escape, and police just saw them and one of them was trying to run. Police shot them in the back, and I'm like, but you people don't even know he did anything yet. I mean, me, we the viewers, we know he did something, but to just see a civilian and he running and you shoot him, like, I get it, like, you're police and stuff, but it's not really nice, because we knew those people did something bad, but police didn't know. They just showed those people. But yeah, I guess since they're evil men, we should be thankful that they've been taken off the streets, because police took them and arrested them, and Julie went to the hospital to get Pete Edochie's death certificate. I don't know why she thought she would be the one to get that death certificate, because they had not been married for very long, and I don't think they had been legitimized. But she went to get his death certificate, and then the doctor was like, oh no, he didn't die, he's alive, he survived. And she was like, oh, my husband is alive. But then when the doctor left, her face was franking. She and her sister now decided to actually go and pack everything they could and run away. But as they were at the venture of executing their plans, they was caught. Police catch them, and the next place they show us is that Pete Edochie is at the hospital. He's surrounded by his family, which is his wife and his daughters. While on the hospital bed, the police bring Julie, just to wrap it up nicely so that it can be like a stage play, and then the curtains can close. The police bring Julie and her child to the hospital and say these people have a confession to make. So they confessioned to Pete Edochie that they tried to by him, and that they were the ones behind it, and that they wanted to take all his money and take all his property and run away. They even told him that this one even came to collect your birth certificate, and he's like, oh, what have I done to you? I only tried to help you and stuff. And I'm like, that's not really true. You did do some things deserving of some punishment. I'm not saying you deserve to be assassinated, but you did deserve some punishment, and I guess this is what he got. But then as police are about to take Julie them away, Pete's wife, who I did not get her name till the end of this movie, Pete's wife tells them, wait, stop, hold up, that's my husband baby though, can I have him? And police officer just says, yes, you can have him. And I'm like, shut up your dirty mouth, that is somebody's child. You cannot just tell another person, oh, you can have somebody's child. I don't think that's how it's done. I think there are processes to this thing, and you cannot just take I'm not supposed to be fighting for Julie, but that's a child, and then the way they just say, oh, you can have it, like that ain't true. Well, I guess who else would the child stay with? But still, so she carries the baby and she apologizes to the baby, like, oh, I'm so sorry, blah blah blah. I don't know why she's apologizing to the baby, but at the end of the day, Pete Edochie did not even have to like say sorry to his wife and everything. He was automatically forgiven, I guess, because he's been punished. And I guess that's the lesson of this movie, you get. So you can get a male child if you really need it, but you have to like undergo like you have to do very diabolical shit and then be almost died for it to be justified. And let me tell you all a story before I leave. I have an uncle, his name is probably see this video. I hope he sees this video. Oh my god, I would like if he sees this video. This man has been married 7 times. He has been married 7 different times, and all for the reason that he is looking for a male child. This is an actual thing that happens even in my nuclear family, considering that there were a lot of girls before the boys. Not a lot, about 3 girls before the 2 boys that finally came. There was this pressure. There is this pressure where I'm from to produce male children. I don't know what for. Maybe they're still thinking it's about to be wartime, and I don't know, but there is the pressure to produce male children. And this my uncle that I tell you about, he's been married 7 times, 7 different times, and this thing has caused him to fall out with a lot of people. The women he's marrying, even the people that are helping him marry the people, because eventually he fell out with my own father, who was his one time friend that was helping him trying to solve this problem of not having a male child, because everybody was involved. This man even offered to marry me so that I can bear him a male child with my young and fruitful womb. I don't know if my daddy actually knocked him over the head for that suggestion. I don't know how that conversation happened, but I just heard it in like passing. That was how serious it was for that man. That was how sinister things, although how much sinisterity of the things he was willing to do just for a male child. And now he does have a male child that came after a lot of controversy. Like, he even has a court case with a woman that is still ongoing because of this male child issue. And that is how serious it is. And whenever I look at that, his son, I wonder if it was worth it for him. Like, I hope it's worth it for him, because he's been married 7 times. He's gone through hell and back just for this male child thing. And I wonder if he would say that it is worth it, because one of the motivations for Pete Edochie in this movie is somebody that will wash his car and people that will complete his building when he dies. And that is not like enough justification for you to put yourself through all that problem in this life. Like, it's really not worth it. The movie should have just said that he didn't really care, because you should not really care. Like, if you die, the man that he's pitying that the man is dead and nobody completed the house, the man doesn't know, the man doesn't give a fuck. Like, we're just here to live and be alive and, like, you know, have fun, have peace. He had peace with his family. He was a great dad. He had a good wife and children that loved him, and he messed all that up just to get a male child. And now they're making it seem like, oh, it's kind of worth it. No, it's not. If you're in this predicament, please stop looking for a male child. Love the children that you have and have the children that you can love, and be a lovable parent. Create that environment. You should be okay. Like, you will die anyways. The son, if you're dying, your son will not hold your hand. He will not go with you. He will not be buried with you, and you shouldn't even want that. So I guess that would be the conclusion to this movie. Nollywood. I can imagine being my brother. I can imagine being him watching this movie then and just feeling it in his soul, like, I just wish I could find me my own Julie to give me my own male child. Like, he must have really been pressed so effing bad, and I feel bad for him. And if you're searching for kids, I hope God blesses your wombs with the genders that you want. But if that does not happen, this is all biology, is all chemistry. We're all animals, apes, human beings. Just, you know, hang with your mates and have fun, and hang with your kids and have fun and live a great life. I've been gone for quite a while. I know I had to set up some things, and now I'm back and I'm better, and I feel bougie as fuck. And this is Movie Sundays. Is it Nollywood Sundays? What are we going to call this series? Please give me suggestions in the comments and tell me what you think about this movie. I will be having full-blown conversations in the comments, because I do want to know what you think about this searching for a male child and searching for a female child dilemma. Is a thing that is prevalent in Nigerian society, considering the patriarchy and then the misogyny. Anyways, that will be it for today. My name is Trixie, and here are the Trixiverse. We basically hang out. Yeah, use my friend now. Bye.